Hello, class. Javon Smith here with Team Collaborators with Casey and Connor. Connor has given some examples of incivility, and Casey has given some examples of civility. So I'm going to give you some example of some real life scenarios that I have commonly encountered in our workplace. The first one is inclusive communication. Many times in my work environment, it's fast paced. Communication gets skewed. A lot of information is being reported at the same time. And in this case, it's dealing with um, different employees who are not being heard. Um, Many people suggest things in the workplace. How can we move better, efficiently, productively, and especially during meetings when people are not feel like they're being heard. Um, so a coworker came to me after a meeting and saying they just weren't getting their suggestions through. And so a recommendation I gave them is to go to that person outside of a meeting exclusively and get your point across. And also, a mentor um, gave me great advice. Incivility is to write a follow up letter with facts and also evidence of your points. So you can have it in writing and possibly give it to that higher up or give it to that person so they can see those facts clearly instead of passive aggressiveness that doesn't work and it only breeds more animosity. And also, it shows that person that you are not just trying to be a know it all, that you have evidence that your point is valid. Another thing is that I want to say about civility is also handling conflict professionally. And in that way, if you see, even if it's not you in a conflict, if you see something and you can do something about it, that breeds community in your work environment and civility in your work environment. So if you see two workers, co-workers arguing, and you know you can help diffuse the situation, you should diffuse that situation. You should seek not to embarrass, take them outside of the area of conflict so there's not an audience watching. So that shows, hey, that is one-on-one um, personal community that I'm trying to diffuse this situation. And that also works in one-on-one settings, handling it professionally. We're not trying to embarrass. We just want our work to be done productively and we want our voices to be heard. And so when those things, so recommendations for professional conflict is get outside of the work area, have one-on-one conversations. And thank you.
Civility in the workplace can look a lot of different ways. First of all, the whole idea to produce civility is to foster a kind, nurturing, and supportive environment for yourself and the coworkers that you're with. Um, the way that you can do that is first with mutual respect. If you respect someone and you give them the time to listen to them and to see what's going on with the projects they're working on, providing help, and listening about how their week is going are all very important strategies to fostering that workplace connection. Helping someone understand something that they don't understand with the air of providing them help and also being in their shoes at some point in your life, I believe is something that has specifically helped me a lot to connect to someone. As they were more honest and real with me, I felt like I could be real with them and say, I didn't understand this, or this aspect didn't make that much sense to me. Looking at someone else's point of view too is very helpful. Kind of the idea of putting yourself in their shoes. I believe that's one of the most important ways that you can really support someone and make civility in a workplace work out so well. Because once you see someone else from their perspective, you can really understand what it's like for them at that time in the workplace. And being able to see if they're nervous or if they're upset about something. And just fostering that connection. Thank you.
Hi, so today I wanted to give an example of incivility and how that can be applied to civility. An example that has happened in my own professional experience happened actually rather recently. One of my managers was talking bad about a coworker. She was saying negative things about him and spreading false information about him that was disrespectful to him. And essentially, I feel like this created a lack of trust in our workplace for a while. Thankfully, this manager was caught and she was punished for what she did. But I feel like incivility in the workplace, it really can just ruin a workplace environment. And if you aren't careful, bad things can happen. So yeah, practicing civility is very important in the workplace. It fosters connection between coworkers, and it just provides a better overall work environment. So yeah, thank you so much for watching our presentation on civility, and I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day.